Hey guys, here at OSMVTexters.com. We're taking a video first look at the EB2000. This is a Chinese to English Mandarin to English translator, which actually retails for around $200 and actually can be purchased for under $100 right now on Amazon.com and also at eBay. The interesting thing about the EB2000 Super is that it has a larger display size than most translators do, even though it is monochrome instead of being color LCD, as most translators tend to be now these days. This device actually is fairly large and pretty easy to read, especially again for that price. It has a nice display. It's monochrome, so it does conserve a lot of battery and electricity, which is certainly nice, and it doesn't have a backlight, unfortunately, so you can't actually use it in darker environments. This is an instant dictionary, which means that the translations are going to be faster. It provides vocal and spoken translations between English and also Chinese, and also can be spoken in Cantonese as well for the dialects. And actually, as you can see here, it actually uses a female narrator to read the stuff out loud instead of using a male narrator. And also on the bottom here, it has the different tabs for the screens and the different characterizations. Some special features on this particular model include some special organizer features as well, like time and alarm and organization, so it actually dubs as your PDA. In addition, it has some organizer functions and also ebook reading functions as well. It also has a removable swappable card, which is very similar to a PCMA CIMA card, but instead of having that traditional layout, it actually has a few pins blocked out. As you can see here, that's actually on the side. The PCMA CIMA card actually contains all of the actual information for the dictionary itself. So if the dictionary gets out of date, the good thing is you can actually purchase these from the manufacturer. It's called IC cards. Again, very similar to PSMA CIA cards, slightly different. I believe you can also plug these into your computer, but not exactly. Again, it has a 4-in-1 function for this particular dictionary that comes included, and you just put it in like so, and after you have put it in, you just lock it on the side. So again, to lock and to eject, like so. The side here also provides a DC 9-volt charger if you plan on using rechargeable batteries, or if you do want to plug into a wall when you're at home. And also, there isn't anything on, there's just a volume rocker on the right-hand side, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack for listening to the translations without using the speaker on planes and when you're traveling a country, perhaps without that functionality. There's also a proprietary connector for you to connect it to a PC for additional functionality. On the back device, it just uses the battery slot, which actually utilizes 4 AAA batteries. So battery life is definitely one of the more concerning aspects of this particular model. Battery life is on the shorter end of the spectrum, especially with a larger screen. We were a little bit surprised though, because it is a monochrome screen and not a color one, but still battery life will be drained after a few months of usage, which is on the shorter range. Now, the EB8000 Super also comes with a soft touch material, which is pretty easy to use. The larger screen size, though, however, means the device is slightly larger in footprint. So when traveling and taking it with you, it's going to be quite large and a little bit harder to put in your pockets, or perhaps in a, it's more suitable for a netbook pocket of that sort. Also, the device has a easy press button for you to release the screen and the QWERTY keyboard underneath, which is pretty easy to use. The screen itself can also be, the hinge of the screen itself can also be rotated 180 degrees, so it's pretty adjustable as far as that is considered, and you can also put at different angles for you to actually use and type on different characters for you to search up. A simple on-off button on the side actually turns the device on and off. This is just yes or no to remember the last time you were using the device for the memory. And you can see the interface is entirely in Mandarin. So unfortunately, this device isn't a backwards compatible translator. You cannot actually change the language settings to English and then translate that to Mandarin. It only works with Mandarin to English, which can get a little bit tedious. But at the same time, the device also offers games for you to practice your vocabulary skills and also to waste some time on the road, perhaps on a plane when you're traveling. So it's also pretty good, again, mini PDA / device, which is nice to use as well. You can see here on the interface, it offers F1 tab, including other translations, some language settings, some games, and so on and so on, some card settings. And down below here, one just offers your typical different translations. These are all the different types of translations that you can have. For example, we press on one, we can start typing in the words, and for example, if we try something like astonished, it's going to instantly try and search up the words. It's very fast, very responsive at doing so. So for example, we want to search up astonished. Clicking enter will allow us to go into that particular function, and it's pretty easy to do. It's pretty fast. You can see it's pretty instantaneous, as the advertisements claim, and pressing on the speak button will allow you to actually say that particular translation out loud. And unfortunately, one disappointing aspect of the Super series is the fact that it actually speaks the characters one at a time instead of stringing them together more naturally. So, Unfortunately, in this day and age where we have Google Translator, a lot of people have smartphones, it's going to be a lot more cost efficient, a lot cheaper as well for people to just use their smartphones. It's also a lot more natural. With this particular model, again, it's one of the older ones, it reads one character at a time. So it's like reading a book where you read and, I, am. So it's like in PDF where you can actually ask the narrator to read back the words for you, but they're just going to read back the words one at a time instead of having a real live narrator read out the entire story as they might. So the diction has been changed, which is not as comfortable, not as realistic and natural as you might expect, but it still is fairly, again, easy to use and natural to use. So if we go back into the home button, we can go back and try and search up some other different functionality. And basically this is the English translation of the version. And if we click on some other applications, we can see that there will be game support by pressing F2. And this offers some more functionalities like currency translations, some different applications like mathematics. There's some algebra tables for you to use equations, so that works pretty well. Over here, F4 offers you a functionality time to different games. Like you can see here, a number 7 would be games. Look, this is a brick game. This is basically just the Tetris version, I do believe. And if you just press something, enter, and we can start playing. And essentially you can just move your Tetris boards back and forth and again waste some time on the roads. It works pretty well for the most part, and again you can see how the dictionary also reads aloud the English characters out loud, but the menus are still in Chinese and not in English. So overall, a very interesting device. Again, for $200, it is kind of expensive, especially in today's standards, even though the device is very responsive, very fast to use. Some disappointing facets include its larger size, the more expensive price tag, and the fact that, Google Translator exists these days for free, and most people have their smartphones anyways, and it provides a little bit more of a natural utilization in addition to having a smartphone, not having to carry around an extra device just to have a translator with them. So anyways, a pretty interesting device. Please check out our full video and review on our website here at osmvdextras.com. For now, that's been a video first look at the EB8000 Super Translator from Mandarin to Chinese.